All right. And we are live. What's up, everybody?
What up, y'all? It's your boy, Warlockside.
Where's guys?
What's happening? This is Tales from the Lotus podcast. Today is Sunday, the 30th of May. And today we have a very special guest coming at y'all.
If he shows up.
Oh, Thomas show up. I talked to him this morning. We already gave him the link, so we're just waiting for him to pop in here. But yes, Tom Wood is our special guest for today, guys.
Yeah.
Tom Wood, the dude that drops the fucking breathtaking artwork that we see.
Oh, yeah.
The lifelike Joker's cards, all that shit that we see. You could thank Tom Wood for that.
Oh, yeah.
Whoop, whoop, sugar scoliosis. Nobody, man.
Whoop, sugar.
Kyle, whatever the fuck your name is. Johnny Charcoal. B-Clown, Juggalo John. I see y'all up in the chat. It's good to have y'all on watching.
Yeah, and Juggalo John, I totally agree with your comment.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. True that. We know damn well. But it ain't going to happen, so we ain't going to let it.
And here he is, our special guest, great and powerful Tom Wood.
Oh,
hey,
shit.
How's it going?
How you doing, Mr. Wood?
Hey.
Very good.
Doing
Very good. How you guys doing today?
Oh,
I'm doing good.
Fantabulous today, man.
Well, thanks for having me on. I've been looking forward to this.
Hell yeah, bro. We've been looking forward to it too, man. We definitely look up to you and we see your artwork, man. We're just like we've been taken by your artwork for quite a while now.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, guys. I appreciate that.
Definitely probably one of the most talented artists I've ever met. Hell yeah, man.
You guys enjoying your Memorial weekend so far?
So far, so good.
Oh yeah, man. We went out. We have a campground that we go to out here. It's like membership only, but man, we go out there every Memorial Day, and they have like a big fireworks show. They got stuff going on for the kids. They got all kinds of stuff.
Nice.
Oh yeah, it's awesome.
Well, that sounds like a good time. I've actually been working on the farm.
Working on the farm.
That's for me, getting just a chance to get away from artwork and just work and get out there on the land and just do some hard work is it's kind of a vacation for me.
Yeah.
How big of a farm do you have?
I've got myself. My farm is 300 acres.
Oh wow!
And my parents' farm, which is the next farm down, is it's about, I think they've got about 500 acres.
Oh wow!
Wow,
that's awesome, man. I grew up working on a farm. I used to have to milk cows, scrape stalls, all kinds of shit. The cows are a messy job when you got to milk them because sometimes they'll shit and it splatters right in front of you, and you're like, oh, dude. Hell yeah,
that's
man!
Experience though.
Yeah, it was quite the experience, man. I worked there at a farm since I was like 8 till I was 17, till I was like actually old enough to go out and get a job somewhere else on my own. And
sure,
it was quite the experience, man. It was fun though.
Well, yeah, dairy. We've got beef cattle. We don't have dairy cows, but the dairy cow thing is every day. There's no days off. Those cows have to be milked once or twice a day, and it's grueling. Yeah,
it's definitely, especially when, like, if you're going to school and you're working on a farm, you got to wake up at like 4:00 in the morning, go milk the cows, go to school, come home, and you gotta get clean so you don't stink like cow shit every day. Because once you come home from work, just being on the farm, you come home stinking. You know what I mean?
Right.
My mom used to make me strip down naked in the fucking garage. We had a walk-in basement in the garage, so I had to strip down all my clothes out there and walk in and take a shower in the basement and then go upstairs in my room.
Damn.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. I love the farm though, man. We spent a lot of hours on tractors, like plowing the fields, and we'd put over 100 hours a week in. It was fun though. It wasn't like work though. It was just something that we did. It was just fun.
Yep. No, I get it. So, what do you guys got on the plate for today? What are we diving into?
Oh man.
How did you first start working for the clowns? Doing our work for them?
Oh, that's a good question. It was it really all started back in the 90s. I was working for a company called Salem Sportswear, and I did all their college mascots, illustrations of either the Fighting Irish or the North Carolina Tar Heels or whatever. And my iterations of those mascots were always very demonic looking.
Oh, man.
So we had to send that to a company that approved that for the schools called CLC. And I had one of my managers it was a kind of an ongoing joke that Tom Stuff looked like, he's a Satan worshiper because they were so aggressive looking and so evil.
Yeah.
And they would always push back, and I'd have to tame it down or make it look a little nicer. And but years later, 10 years later, that same manager that used to work at Salem Sportswear now worked for Live Nation. And she said and the Clowns was doing, gangbusters at Hot Topics and at Spencer's. So
yeah.
She said, we've been seeing these logos for a long time. I know a guy that could probably bring these to a different, give us a different look at these things. And he's custom made for the Clowns. So she asked me to come in and start doing the original 6 Jokers, or, what my iterations of those characters were. And since, I knew that, I'd followed the whole Dark Carnival mythology a little bit, not as far as listening to the music, but as just really enjoyed the visuals and the graphics that I had seen before. And I knew that they had a cult-like following because I'd done work for the Grateful Dead in the past, and they had a similar kind of following, a very cult-like following of just
deadheads,
steadfast fans that knew everything about them. So if you ventured off from those characters very far, then you'd get a lot of backlash from some of the fans. So when I dove into the first 6 Jokers for Live Nation, I can make it look realistic, but if Shaggy didn't draw it on there, then I'm not going to add it. I'm not going to change any. If the riddle box is red and green and this is how he's colored up, I'm sticking to that. I'll make it look realistic, but I'm not venturing past that.
Right.
And and I've done that with all the Jokers I've done since when I started out in 2009 doing work for a Live Nation. But working directly for the Clowns came years later, after I'd done 40, 50 illustrations for Live Nation. Missing Link came up, and the first person to call me was Will Sigler. He made contact with me. He had been following my page, my Facebook page, for some time, and then he called out and said, would you might be interested in doing something specifically for us? And when I said yes, then the next call came from Bill Dale, who said, let's do this. This is what I need for this release. I need a front view, and I need, do whatever you think is going to look cool. And and that's how it kind of got started. And then probably once I finished that, it wasn't 6 months until Rob called me, Rob Bruce, and said, I'm working on this game called Into the Echo Side, and I want you to work with me and Lewis. So, and since that point, I've worked directly with Psychopathic on all my projects.
That's awesome, dude. I do know that, like, with ICP's music, it's always been like so visual to us, the way they put their lyrics, you know what I mean? And then you brought the artwork to life, which made that shit so much more realistic, you know what I mean?
Thanks.
And that, like, I'm used to like the regular flat print of the Joker's cards, and then you brought this shit. I'm like, holy shit, dude! That makes it all more realistic. You know what I'm saying? It's sweet.
Oh, thanks.
Definitely good iterations on the Joker's cards, man. We loved it.
Yeah, thanks, man. And I appreciate that. And I've had so much love from the Juggalos. I really can't imagine it having a better relationship with them. But there are some Juggalos that are just so in love with the 2-dimensional logos. They don't want to see any other iterations other than this is the logo. I don't like you bastardizing this and doing your thing. And I can respect that. Everybody has their own, opinions about artwork, but
not everybody likes change, I guess. They're not
exactly
used to change.
Exactly. And I'm not wanting to, they need to understand, I don't want to replace those things. You don't see my stuff going on the covers of their albums. That's not where it needs to go. The tradition is these icons are what, are on the album covers, and they represent this, this time period of this Joker. And, I'm just throwing a little extra flavor in there.
Oh,
yeah, there's definitely some good flavor, especially for the clothing aspect of it, because like you can only do so much with a 2D graphic, you know what I'm saying? But whenever you bring shit to life, there's so much you could do with it, man. And it's crazy. I've seen juggalos take some of your artwork and make some shit with it. I'm just like, holy fuck, bro, that could be fucking dope. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. No, I've seen a lot of stuff, and between apparel, a lot of the stuff that's really cool apparel, unfortunately, comes from China, and me or Psychopathic sees no money from any of that stuff.
Yeah.
But I've always put that stuff up there a little high resolution than I need to, just because I know the juggalos really love getting tattoos of that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And, every time I go to a gathering, they come running up to show me, their Tom Wood Joker tattoo. And,
Nice.
I hate to take that down, but also it makes it very easy for the pirates to grab some of that stuff and start doing t-shirts and hoodies and that kind of thing. So
Yep.
it's kind of bittersweet, but anyway, I don't think I'll change what I do.
That's awesome. I know you did some shit for our for our group, our homies. I'm gonna share it right quick so we can show everybody. Right here, you did this piece for us. Phenomenal, man. The Juggernaut group.
Yes.
I remember when you dropped this, dude. It was definitely awesome, bro. Good
Thanks.
shit, man.
Yeah, that was a fun piece to work on.
Hell yeah.
And I remember I went to the gathering that after we done that, and they had a huge banner printed out of it, and they were bringing me beer by the case and to my little booth and stuff. So yeah, it's a good group of people.
Yeah, man. Juggernaut always doing something, trying to do something for everybody,
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah, dude, this artwork along with all the other shit that we've seen you come out with, man, it's just been mind blowing. You know what I mean? And it's I know a lot of people that love it, and I know there's a few that don't really like the aspect of bringing shit to life like that. But all together, it's like definitely brought something new to the Juggalo world that it needed, I think.
Oh yeah.
No, I agree. I think there's nothing wrong with some diversity in the artwork field. I work with a group that's called Dead Canvas, and it's a group of some extremely talented guys, and they younger artists that I try to help if I can. And Picasso and Crystalline, they kind of run that group and really help promote those artists, and they all bring to the table their own styles, which I think just really enhances the art in the Dark Carnival. So I'm behind them 100%.
Most definitely. We have a friend of ours that makes all of our artwork that we would love to see get to collab with you someday. I hope that gets to happen. His name is Lakeland Lunacy.
Oh yeah, I know him.
Yeah, he is
very talented.
Very talented artist. I love everything he does, man. No matter if it's for us or not, it's just always dope. You know what I mean? It's just, and you never expect it, because sometimes you'll wake up and he'll have something in your inbox just sitting there waiting for you. You're like, oh man, this is sweet. And you get like, it's awesome. I would love to see you guys be able to collab at some point. I think that'd be awesome. See if some of his shit brought to life like that.
No, and I think he's, I was so proud for him. I think he was nominated for the Replicon Radio graphic designer thing this year, which I think was well deserved. I thought he'd been putting out some excellent material over the past year or so.
Yes, he is.
Definitely.
Yes, he does.
Definitely. He's like a brother to me, man. I got much love for him. We haven't really he hasn't really done anything for the channel lately, but he's done so much in the past that I don't even like asking him for anything anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Well, that's great.
Child's Play Ninja says, I have a special song for Tom Wood.
Uh-oh. Is he going to play it now?
No, I don't know.
He probably do it on his he probably do it on his channel.
Yeah, yep. That'd be awesome. So what do you think about this whole COVID situation going on and the gatherings not being able to happen and all that?
Actually, the gathering just been announced.
Oh, it's announced now? Man, I missed out on that.
August
awesome.
19th, August 19th through the 21st.
Oh, so it is happening.
Yeah, it's
Really?
in Thornville, Ohio.
Oh, perfect.
They just made the announcement.
Yep.
Yeah.
I see this on ICP's page.
I knew yesterday they said something on their Facebook that said big announcement coming tomorrow. So
Really?
I just saw it on the Twitter.
on their Twitter?
Yeah.
That's awesome,
yeah.
man.
Yeah, Sugar posted it on the chat.
Yeah, right there. Give me a second.
Oh, wow. That is sweet.
See that. Anyway.
Oh, hell yeah. Well, there you have it, man. We got the gathering happen this year. They must have just posted that because I was looking at their shit earlier, didn't see it.
Yeah. Actually, I did that logo, so I knew that it was going on. I just didn't know that I could say anything about it until now.
Oh, damn.
That's cool.
Damn, hell yeah. That's dope, man. So you've been doing the gathering logos too? Is that?
Yeah.
They're all fucking fresh. I'm just like, man.
Oh yeah.
Well, I've done the gathering logos for the past probably 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
Ever since the which one was it?
Oklahoma or something?
Yeah, the one that had the kind of Hendrix vibe to it.
Yeah. Oh, Whoopstock.
Whoopstock, that's it.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I started doing them then, and that one came out great. And then I did the next few after that. I think there was the only one after that after Whoopstock was the Super Gathering.
Yep, the Super Gathering.
And then this year's, and which this year's actually they contacted me Thursday, and
that's awesome.
And asked me to do it. So this was, this whole thing, as far as I know, sort of came to life pretty quickly, within the past few days.
Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, they hit me up Thursday and said, knock us out a logo. And so, yeah, that's it. That's awesome. I didn't know it was going to be the 19th. I kind of assumed it was probably going to be first weekend of August or the last weekend of July. A lot of kids are going to be back to school in August. So that's going to be kind of weird.
Yeah. I know, man. I haven't went in a few years, but holy crap, man. I know that the last gathering that happened was pretty freaking dope. And I think this year is going to be even better because of the anticipation of making another gathering happen, you know what I mean? And then ICP's had a lot of time to collectively gather shit together to make this the dopest gathering of all, you know what I mean?
Right. Absolutely.
And I hope it is. I really do.
Well, I know that they don't have a lot of time. I know Rob usually starts working on these things in January.
Oh, wow.
He knows they're going to start going down, starts putting everything together in the groups and stuff like that. The fact that it's kind of been green-lighted now, he's going to be hard-pressed to get everything squared away before it's over, before that hits.
Definitely.
Yeah, actually, Will's ass is like an hour away from me.
Oh, good. Not too bad. I think it's about 9 hours away from me.
Yeah, it's like 1 hour and like an hour and 40 minutes away from me.
Wow.
Nice. CPN says it's a cover song to the song Jolene. It's called Tom Wood. Dope. I gotta hear this.
I can't wait.
I know it. Church says #fuck Oklahoma. That gathering was probably the worst gathering.
That was painful.
Miserable. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there was no giant hill to fuck with this, but it was a constant dust cloud that just swarmed everything. There was fire ants everywhere. And then the first few days of it, the cops really just beat the shit out of everybody. So we weren't happy with that one.
Yeah, I know, man. When you start going more west, they're not used to us yet, especially in groups that size. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And there was some Barney Fife type sheriff that was just wanting to make a name for himself. I think it was. Anyway, yeah.
Oh man. So, any plans for art outside of ICP art coming up? You got anything big planned out?
I mean, I'd say 90% of the artwork that I do is not ICP related. So I do a lot of artwork, a lot of corporate artwork for Pepsi, for Frito-Lay, for Blizzard. I mean, a lot of companies like that really, are good clients and they pay well, they pay on time. I don't have to worry about getting stepped on any of that stuff.
Right.
And Psychopathic is still one of my favorite clients, just because the appreciation from the fans, I get to see it. You know, the stuff that I do for Pepsi or whatever that goes on a commercial or a billboard or an in-store display. You know, my name's not on any of that stuff. It's fine, but it's very commercial and it's kind of boring, but it pays well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's awesome, dude. I've seen a lot of your artwork just like scrolling through your Instagram page, man. It's like, holy shit, dude. Like, if y'all haven't seen it yet, you need to get over to Tom Wood's Instagram page, check it out, because there's a lot of cool shit on there, man.
Yeah, just Tom Wood Fantasy Art on Instagram or Tom Wood Fantasy Art on Facebook. Either one of those, there's a shit ton of artwork on there. So, or you can go to my website, which has pretty much all my fantasy artwork and all my ICP artwork on TomWoodFantasyArt.com.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, actually, me and you met at the gathering, at the last gathering.
What day was that? That was on a Wednesday. Then that day was a blur. That day was madness. I think I remember meeting you then, but I think it was a Wednesday.
Well,
which was just chaos.
Well, because yes, if I was somebody's dad or not, so.
Yes, if you're somebody's dad.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to talk to you, and my kid said, "Come on, Dad," and you asked if I was my kid.
Must have been Scrappy.
Yeah, it was.
It was Scrappy. That's awesome. We always made fun of Josh saying that must be your kid, man. So he always just stuck with it. It's his kid.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah,
that's awesome, dude.
No, the gatherings are great just because I get a chance to, I'm posted up at my booth most of the time, unless I'm doing one of the events like tattoo contest or something like that. Most of the time I'm at the booth until 7:00, and then I kind of either let somebody stand in for me but I'm going to go watch, I'm going to go watch the shows after that. It's been a long day by 7:00 in the afternoon.
Oh yeah, man.
So how do you get started with your artwork?
My artwork. Well, I guess, like a lot of artists, you kind of get labeled as the class artist. And that sort of happened to me in first grade. And then I was, everybody would, if we had an art project, everybody would do theirs and they would come over to my desk to see how I was drawing it. And that kind of attention was, I think, very influential in me sticking with that or wanting to, better myself and keep this crowd of impressed kids, circling my desk and stuff like that. And that just kind of carried on through school. And then, I think that there was no other path. I didn't have any other career choices that I was entertaining as I got older and got into high school. It was kind of like, okay, I want to be a graphic designer, or I'm going to go work for Marvel Comics, or I'm not sure exactly how it's going to pan out, but I know it's going to be art related. So, and that's kind of what I stuck with. There was no backup plan. Like, it was kind of like, what's his name? Whatever that conquistador was that burned his ships when he got to Mexico. Didn't have a backup plan to get home to incentivize his men to do good work.
Yeah. I would love to see your iteration of the Pendulum comic books that ICP used to come out with back in the day. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know if you can improve on those. They was able to get some of the best comic book art I've ever seen on those comics. I mean, whoever did those, they need to get those guys back and do some more of those comics, because they were just really well done.
Yeah, they were pretty dope, man. I mean, you could definitely tell they had some good artists working on their side.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there was a lot of question of you were doing artwork for them back then, and I'm like, I don't think so. Like, Tom Wood just came around within since the last 15 years probably. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if it would be. Oh, I know them were happening back in the 90s, late 90s, I think it was 99, 2000.
I think go to late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, those are cool. I'd love to see more of those.
But yeah, even when I just wanted to get into comics, it was I didn't really want to do the panels because they just seemed tedious. I always wanted to do the covers. If you guys followed like Savage Sword of Conan or anything like that, there was always these painted, beautiful covers, either done by Joe Jusko or another, several other artists that would do these fantastic paintings. And the inside, it was just usual, regular comic book panels, either done by John Buscema or somebody like that.
Yeah.
It was really good, but the cover is what I wanted. That's what I always went to the comic book store and looked for, was that painted cover.
That's what sells the book.
Yeah. That's, which actually I've got all those right here.
Nice.
Oh man. Hell yeah, dude.
Stuff like, I don't know if you can see this, like this kind of stuff was the covers, and then you would go into the pages, and it was just regular comic book style artwork on the inside. It was really well done.
Yeah,
but it just seemed like, God, that's a lot of work. Because I usually have a lifespan on how much interest I've got in something. Once I started, I've got about 2 weeks before I'm sick of looking at it. So usually that's what kind of time frame I've got on a piece of artwork before I'm just ready to be done with it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I can imagine. You probably already got other ideas, something else you want to do, and you're just like, man, I want to start this. You know what I mean?
Right.
I can only imagine.
Exactly.
I mean, I could draw some hella good stick figures, but that's about it. I used to draw little cartoons on the book corners and like have stick figures drop kicking each other. That's all I could do, though. I have no artistic ability about me at all.
Oh, you probably do. It's all about practice. I mean, there is some talent to it, but I've seen some really talented people, but it's all in practice. And when I was good through high school, but when I got my first job as a graphic designer at a screen print company, and I was just hammered with job after job after job, for 8 to 10 hours a day, and that's all you did. You see your artwork really sort of skyrocket as far as the level of expertise to it, or professionalism. So practice makes perfect.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Practice makes perfect. Now, I know people that can just like look at something one time and then draw it and not have to look at it again until it's done. I'm like, holy crap. It's like that photographic memory, I guess.
Right.
And I smoke a lot of weed, so it's kind of hard to remember that much. I had to stare at it the whole time. Or I have to trace it. Man.
If I'm looking at something and trying to draw it accurately, I have to look at it. I'll have to go back and look at it a million times. Or just pull it up on the screen where I can see, like, one picture will be over here, and then I can look at it and just keep focusing on one single part till I make sure that that's right, and then go on to the next part of the face. But
yeah, when you got a lot of detail, I guess when you got a lot of detail, you'd have to like keep looking at it.
If people's going to pull that thing up and just study it for hours, then you can't fuck around. You got to make sure it's done the right way. And from what a lot of people have said to me, they enjoy doing that kind of stuff. Just examining every piece of it. So I try to keep that in mind when I'm wanting to move on away from this boring elbow and get over and work on this eye and teeth and all this shit that's really cool. I was like, okay, they're gonna, they may not look at this, but I know that it's not right, so I'm just gonna keep working on it until I get it perfect, and then I'll save this cool stuff up here on the face that I've been waiting to work on, for later. But the funnest stuff is not, and I would tell any of my artist buddies this: it's not the stuff that you can look at and draw; it's the stuff that you don't have. There is no reference for,
right.
So if you can come up with something in your mind and put it together based on information that you've gathered in your own psyche from just your own experiences, this is what this should look like. For example, the Yum Yum flower, there's no reference of what this thing's going to look like. There's nothing on the planet that I can look at and say, this is, I can use this for reference. So you just have to take your own experience of what plant material looks like and how lighting would work on something like that, and and just do your best. And that's the most fulfilling stuff, is creating something from nothing, not just looking at a picture and then trying to replicate it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Crazy McCullough wants to know: do you use pencil and people, canvas, or digital?
Well, I do use pencil. All my artwork is penciled out on these giant sketch pads. Like, everything starts, on these pads. I don't know if I've got any sketches here that I can show you, but usually everything starts as a thumbnail. Oh wow! Like, see this when I did the Oracle for Into the Echo Side. I'll just do a pencil sketch of what her costume's going to look like, and I have to sort of figure all that stuff out, and then I'll sketch just a loose outline of that, and then I'll tighten that up all on paper and pencil, and then I'll scan that in and Photoshop, and then I airbrush it with with a Wacom tablet, which
awesome.
Those pens look like that.
Nice.
So they're pressure sensitive. They have this tip here, so the harder you push, the more pressure. It's very, very similar to a real airbrush. So
wow.
And see, that was my background, is in the 80s and 90s, before Photoshop really developed. I used a Pache airbrush to do all my illustrations with, and that was just that was a lot of work. But it was that's all the technology had back then. Now you can do everything digitally as far as painting.
Heck yeah. Bizarre theme before playing. Oh, somebody said they hate that ICP dropped bizarre theme that had planned for Gathering of the Juggalo 2019. Yeah, I know, man. That would 2020, I think we're supposed to have. I don't remember the theme was supposed to be last year.
It was bizarre.
But yeah, it was bizarre 2020s, but that didn't happen.
Right. Oh yeah, I did the artwork for that one too. Even though it didn't happen. But yeah, that was a great logo too. It had that whole monkey shines kind of thing, and it was the spirals in the eyes. It was freaky, which that's the way Rob wanted it. He wanted something that was kind of disturbing. Yeah. And this year's was kind of they wanted a flaming phoenix style logo where it's where everyone just had already come to terms with the fact there was no gathering. It was just burnt for for this year. And then out of the ashes comes this phoenix butterfly. So that's kind of the symbolism that's behind this year's logo.
That's awesome. Man, another thing I want to bring back is DCG Con.
Oh yeah, me too. That's one of my favorite events. I wish that we would do that again.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Because I did my first logo, or not my first logo. My first gathering was Gathering 17, and then of course I went there. They unveiled Into the Echo Side, and I pretty much spent most of my time in the merch tent, just teaching people how to play and learning how to play.
Yeah. And
that was great. And I've made some great friends in the merch tent, but there was so much outside of that I didn't know anybody, and everybody was just running around like, and it was very chaotic, and I didn't get to meet a lot of people. But that following, winter spring, we had DCG Con, and that's when I actually got to meet so many people. It was just a different vibe. It was a little more relaxed. A lot of people were sitting down and playing games, and you were playing with them, so you got to know them, and I got to know, a lot of people. Yeah,
man. I mean, the way you explained it to us, like, you're grateful for that, but these kids that are like, you know what I'm saying, doing it with you, playing games with you, or playing games with Jump Steady, man, this is like life changing a lot of these kids, and that's why I love DCG Con so much, because a lot of them are just juggalos that listen to music, and a lot of times they can't afford to go to like shows or gatherings and shit. But when they get the chance to actually sit down with these guys, it like makes their day. You know what I mean? I've sat down with ICP and like shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So like I know what it felt for me. So I know that's what I love about the DCG, the whole fucking experience of it. You know what I mean? It's just over anything else. Like the gatherings, a lot of you get to see a lot of people, but you don't get a lot of time because like ICP or yourself or somebody be busy. You know what I mean? So at DCG Con when you actually get a chance to sit down with them and play games with them and shit. That's just so surreal that it's, I don't know, it's amazing to me, I think.
No, yeah, I agree. I think as I've gotten to know these guys at Psychopathic and a lot of the artists that come and perform at that stuff, they're so down to earth. I didn't expect everyone to be so normal, when I got there. But as I've got to know them, of course, there's so much going on at the gathering that they're running from place to place and doing certain different events. But even at DCG Con and the gathering, if you get a chance to go backstage, they are so, or get to do an event with them like tattoo contest or, whatever. You get a chance to visit with them and they're just so down to earth. And it's hard to tell they've been famous for, 30 years.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there are a lot of people, like, I call normal people, I guess, look at ICP like there's some like bad dudes or something and they're just not worth listening to. And I'm like, man, if you knew what they were like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I grew up to their music since I was just little, So if you guys knew what they were like, you'd have a whole different aspect on it. If you knew what the music was about, rather than just hearing the words that you're hearing, just listening to random songs, you'll know what they're about. And yeah, I mean, they definitely made a difference in a lot of people's lives.
No, 100%. I mean, I've gotten to see that a lot more and kudos to ICP for giving a lot of their backstory. I mean, they share a lot of their personal experiences with the fans that a lot of artists would never do. I mean, the fact that if you ever get a chance to either read or listen to the audio tapes of Behind the Paint and see, where a lot of these songs and titles and mythology from the Dark Carnival sort of emanates from, it's really, insightful when it comes to the music. So
definitely is.
Yeah, Juggalo also supposed we know so much about the band and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's you're doing something right with your artwork whenever you impress the Juggalos, because we're like the hardest people to impress. You know what I'm saying? Like you hear like random music artists come in and they'll just get booed right off the stage. You know what I'm saying? But when you can impress Juggalos, you're doing something right, man.
Yeah.
No matter what kind of art it is you're doing, like we're just stubborn and we only like what we like. If you grab our attention, then we like it.
Well, and there seems to be a little bit of differentiation between art and music, because you're right. I've seen some musicians come in that's just Juggalos just don't want any part of it.
Yeah.
But when it comes to art scene, they seem to be a little more accepting of a lot of the different art styles. I mean, I've gotten so little hate on any of my artwork over the past 15 years. Everyone's been very supportive of it. And I see that with a lot of the Dark Carnival or the Dead Canvas artists as well. It may not be their cup of tea, but they seem to be pretty supportive of that artwork. Even if some of it's not, some of the brand new artists coming in, some of their stuff is not very polished, or even has some issues with the structure of it or the mechanics of it. They're very supportive. So that helps the artists. That us artist types, we kind of need that reassurance sometimes. So
yeah, it's good to have, man.
It is. Juggalos have been great to the art community. But you're right. I mean, you can see that probably more than any other musical, following that I've ever seen, artwork is so important to Juggalos, more so than anything else I've seen.
Yeah.
Well, probably closer would be like Deadheads.
Yeah.
Probably closest.
No, I agree. Like I said, I've done quite a bit of work for Grateful Dead, and if you're not doing the the dancing bears or the skeletons from Ship of Fools, then if you stick with those, you're pretty safe. So.
Yeah. Yep. Definitely.
Yeah, I don't know if Fish has a logo or not, but I know they're not. It's like another cop band.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Fish has a big following. I don't know that artwork plays as big a part of that scene as it did for the Grateful Dead, and certainly not as much as it does for ICP.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I just wonder if anybody in the chat had any questions for Tom while we're here. I know
Yeah,
everybody's got questions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Actually, do you have any like favorite artists?
Oh, favorite artist. I mean, yeah, my favorite artist by far is Frank Frazetta. I mean, he's the one that has inspired me when I was, 8 years old. I seen his Death Dealer painting, and it was on the cover of Molly Hatchet, their self-titled album, Molly Hatchet, which came out in 1979. So I was 9 years old when I seen it at Walmart in the album section. Of course, it was still on big LP, so I had a big, album cover to look at.
Yeah.
And I would just stare at it for hours. And I'm like, this is cool. I mean, and it's scary, it's disturbing, and for a 9-year-old. And so that's the kind of stuff that I painted. And my parents was like, can't you draw something that's pretty? Because all my stuff was either dinosaurs or sharks or monsters. That's the kind of stuff that I always wanted to draw. So like, you're really good at it, but hopefully you're not disturbed, or you're normal. And I am, I was brought up in a very normal household. So the fact that I was drawn to this darker type of, aggressive imagery is kind of a mystery.
That's awesome. Oh yeah. Tom's Megadeth artwork was fire. Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Hell yeah, man. Everything I've seen was pure fire, man. Like,
Oh yeah.
I like realistic shit. And have you ever done tattoos like yourself? Like, actually tattooed somebody?
I'm not. I've been invited to do people's tattoos for years, and I don't have any tattoos on me just because I'm not sure that I want a certain piece of artwork on me forever. Like I said, I get kind of sick of it after looking at it for 2 weeks, much less 20 years. I'd be wanting to shave that shit off me with a knife. But anyway, I've had several invitations to do that, or have practice dummies that just say, do whatever you want. If you fuck it up, I'm cool. I'll be your canvas. And I have not yet taken anybody up on that.
Oh, well, that's respectable. I get your where you're coming from. I got a lot of tattoos. Like, I got Hatchet Man, and that I will never take. I'll never want to get covered or taken off.
No, yeah, definitely, and stuff like that. That's symbolic icons like that. That's one thing. But if you're looking at like a full-blown illustration style that may look cool today, and it may
wrinkle up and
it may be completely dated and out of style 20 years from now. Do you really want that on you? So anyway, I should probably do something like that one of these days, but who knows? I've still got a lot of time. I'm still, I'm no youngster, but I've still got several years left in my career.
Hell yeah, you do, man. Plenty more years.
Oh,
plenty
yeah.
and plenty. Same with ICP, man. People think they're just getting old. I'm like, no, they still got a long time to go, man.
Yeah.
They're still just in their prime.
No, I agree. Yeah, I think right now I don't think I've had a busier workload than I've had right now in my entire career. It seems like it's 7 days a week, and which is fine. It keeps me on my toes and keeps me, sharp. But I think over the next 10 years, it'll be probably some of the best stuff that I've ever put out.
Awesome. Hell yeah. You only improve the more you do it, right?
That's right. And every piece seems to lift, sort of raise the bar on you. You accept that challenge, and you got to, one up yourself every time. I know that when I did last year, when I took on the, what's his name? Rotten Treats. I did the Rotten Treats piece for Halloween.
Yes.
And, that piece sort of raised the bar because I put a shit ton of detail in that.
Yeah.
And, it was received really well. They even did a shout out during the podcast about it. Joe did, or Bone J did. And so that kind of, really raised the bar when I took on Yum Yum, which I haven't unveiled yet. In fact, I was going to unveil it Friday. And I was going to unveil it Friday, and that way we could even talk about it and bring it up on the screen today. But I did not want to, finding out Friday or Thursday that the gathering announcement was going to happen this weekend, I really didn't want to stick it out there then because it would have just been drowned out. Nobody gives a shit about anything besides gathering for the next few days. I promise you.
Yep, that's true. Hell yeah. That's how it works, man. Once that gathering's announced, man, and I'm glad it was announced this early because I remember times where shit's got announced like a month before it happened. You know what I mean? It's like, holy shit, you just got a month to plan this shit. Like, it's not that easy for some people to plan a whole gathering. People with kids and jobs and shit. It's gotta have time.
Yes,
but I'm excited, man. I'm excited to. Hopefully, we'll have a Hallowicked again this year. Which I don't see why we couldn't, because Michigan's starting to finally open its borders now that our governor got caught breaking the rules. We're starting to open our shit now, so we can have more in attendance at gatherings and stuff like that. So that's good. I think Hallowicked's very possible, and I hope it goes down this year.
Yeah, I think if they're doing the gathering, I think Hallowicked is definitely probably going to be happening.
Yeah,
and I wouldn't doubt if they don't, start touring again at some point real soon.
Oh, I hope so, man. We all need it. You know what I mean? We've had a break. Now we all need it. We need the clowns back on the road. Which
reminds me, before I forget, now that they have officially announced the gathering, I was having this giant float, Tom Woods, float, which everybody comes down and camps for 2 or 3 days. We float Spring River and stuff like that. That was going down on August 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. And that's probably not going to happen now. So I'll have to get my shit together and put out some kind of announcement that the float's probably, is not happening, is going to be canceled, because people aren't going to go to both of these events. And
yeah, I get that. That'd still be awesome to plan for a different time or something.
Yeah, maybe next year we'll do it at earlier in the spring, probably first week of June or something like that, if anybody wants to come. But now that the gathering's back on, most people, they save that vacation time and all their money to go do that event. So
yeah,
I'm sure it'll be a smaller crowd than what I was expecting this year at the float, because I was probably looking at 300 to 400 people showing up this year.
Oh, wow. Nice, man. Hell yeah, bro. Well, hopefully next year in the early spring, like you said, we can get some info on a new one. That'd be pretty cool to do, man. I think that'd be well worth the trip. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, it's fun. Yeah. Everybody that went last year, they just had the best time. We floated Spring River twice, which is a 10-mile float. The river is beautiful. It's a beautiful river. But it's not one of those ones that if you fall out of your canoe or your raft, that you're going to get swept down in some kind of rapids. It's just a very mellow river. It's got like 12 or 13 little waterfalls that you get to, navigate over, but it's not anything that's dangerous. It's just, it's just fun to float down, and you can take your beer or whatever down the river. Yeah. And it's a good time.
That's awesome, dude. Hell yeah.
Is there any artists you want to do artwork for that you haven't?
Any artists that I want to do artwork for that I haven't?
Yeah.
No, I mean, honestly, I can't think of anybody that I would rather do artwork for that has the kind of support that ICP does.
Oh yeah.
I've been contacted by other groups, even in the underground community, that I've turned down artwork for. That I don't have anything against any of these groups. It's just like, but Psychopathic has been really great to me. I mean, they've treated me like family, and we've got a history. So I feel there's a loyalty to those guys that I don't really want to, I'm their artist when they come to me for stuff work, that kind of art, that I'm their guy. And other companies have their artists that they turn to, and that's their guy. So, I don't want to, it's not anything about, I don't dislike these people. I don't support these guys. It's just, I'm Psychopathic's artist when it comes to underground music.
That's
that
awesome.
Makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. That is awesome. Crazy McCormick said I'd like to see Tom Wood art of King Diamond. Hell yeah.
King Diamond, yeah.
That'd be cool.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, there's a couple characters that I've not explored in the Dark Carnival thing that I'd like to, but you never know. Of course, Mr. Ron Treat's he's been around forever, and I finally got to him last year. So I've had several people that's asked me about characters that's come up in the last Joker album, Fred Fury. That what was her name? There was one girl in there that was kind of a monster. Ghost. I can't remember what her name was.
Oh yeah.
Oh, what the fuck? I'm drawing a mind blank now.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I could have said it a million times until I've just brought it up. So, anyway, there's one character in there that's really gruesome and scary, and I think she would make an excellent character to illustrate at some point.
Yeah. Yeah, the Flip the Rat. Everything you did on that was that shit was sick, bro.
Yeah, Flip the Rat was a fun project. Of course, the whole all the Juggalos really gravitated around that little character, even though he was just a centimeter wide and in Fred's pocket. Everybody really gravitated toward that little cute mouse.
Sugar said it was character was Schimmel.
Shout out to God the Good One on the chat.
What's that one? What's that question?
Sure said the character was thinking of Schimmel.
Shimmer?
Yeah. Oh, Shimmer. Yeah, Shimmer. That's her.
Yep.
Yes. Good job, guys. Thanks.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, Shimmer would be an interesting character to illustrate. And she sounds like she's pure evil, so that's right down my alley.
No, I would really personally like to see, man, is like either an actual movie or like something created with your artwork of all these different characters into a movie to like represent all the Joker's cards. And you know what I'm saying? I think that would be so sick to have some kind of some movie with that. You know what I mean? I think an actual live film would be dope, and with your live artwork, you know what I'm saying? I think that'd be sick as hell.
Well, even if it was a live action that they was able to maybe use the character design based off my artwork to develop, what the Ringmaster looks like, but go off, look at Tom's art. This is what he needs to look like, because I've seen some great cosplay from some Juggalos that's done Ringmasters in the past, and they've dressed themselves up exactly like that Dark Carnival Ringmaster painting in mine and just nailed it. And I'm like, that's badass. That would make a great movie. Hell and I think, even looking at something like the Terrifier, I don't know if you guys have watched that movie or not, but that character looks, a lot like my Ringmaster.
Yeah, it does. I noticed that. I was like, man, that's sweet. I think that's the movie I was watching that gave me the idea for, man, this would be dope to have all the Joker's cards in a movie, man. Just the whole storyline and shit with them all. I think it'd be so sweet. Or you could do multiple movies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or a series even.
No, 100%. I think that'd be really cool. Of course, some characters would be easier than others. I mean, Ringmaster, Carnival of Carnage, those characters could be actually played by actors and makeup, but something like, the Jekyll Brothers, that would have to be all CG. CGI to try to recreate that kind of stuff.
Yeah, definitely. It would definitely have to be some CGI.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially when you bring in characters like Flip the Rat and just smaller little characters like that. That'll have to be
right. Well, in the first deck, of course, you had several characters that were, based in reality. They look like men. They look like humans. When you get to the second deck, almost nothing is based on humans, except for maybe Death Pop.
Yeah.
Other than that, Bang Pow Boom, maybe Missing Link a little bit, but Fred and now Yum Yum, they're all just these sort of mythical type creatures that have no grounds in reality. So they're a little more interesting.
Hell yeah, definitely, man. Well, I think we're about running out of time. We really appreciate you coming on the show.
Oh, no problem.
It's been the biggest honor to have you on, man. We tried to have you on before, it didn't work out, so we're glad this time it worked out.
All right.
Warlock side, Scottish Misfit. Thanks, guys, for having me. It's been an honor. And good luck with the show, and hopefully I'll get to see both you guys in August.
Yeah, definitely. I want that to happen. That'd be awesome.
Oh yeah.
Thanks again, Tom.
You bet,
You're
fellas.
like you're a big inspiration to all of us, man. We appreciate you.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Whoop.
Whoop, whoop.
Hell yeah. We appreciate y'all for tuning in today.
Oh yeah.
We will be back sometime this week. We'll be doing another show, so stay tuned for that. And shout out to Tom Wood for coming on the show.
Oh yeah.
And we are out, guys.
Peace.
Much love, y'all.